the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, still unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want. Damn, so what you need.
All right, people. Let's just cut to the chase. Bidenomics, complete crap. Complete crap. You guys got a 34% approval on his economy. Nobody cares. But liberals are going to believe it. They're going to believe this stuff. We're going to talk about it tonight. Bidenomics. I know I didn't put it on the list, but I'm sitting here just reading over this stuff, and I'm just trying not to vomit in my mouth. It's about as good as Hunter Biden's laptop. It's pretty disgusting. Bidenomics. What the hell is he talking about? Absolutely no plan whatsoever. People are making, I don't care what, listen, this is the only thing you say. The only thing. When you hear all these liberals, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my cousin. Hey, Randy. He just texted me. Squirrel. Okay. Dial it in. Anytime somebody's like, Bidenomics, Bidenomics, Bidenomics is the greatest thing in the world. And they start doing this, you just say, explain to me this. Why are people on average making 37 cents less than they were last year? The national average was what? $11.43 was the national average for per hour workforce. Now it's down to like $11.03. Just simply ask that question. And if they go ahead and say, oh, well, you know, that's just because of inflation, and say, great. So what's more important than people's wages? Nothing. Then the economy is doing poorly, and he can suck it.
I won't tell no lies. Back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
Hi, Matthew. It's Judge Janine, and I wanted to congratulate you on the Don't Unfriend Me show at the DUM Show. I was thinking about that whole thing the other day when I thought it was right after Donald Trump was elected that everybody on the left started unfriending anyone on the right. So I'm glad you're calling them out. You've got a great name for the show. And I hope that you're true to the values, conservative values, Republican values, and that you call those people out. I think it's great. And I know you've got 135,000 followers. I hope you get a lot more. And just keep the faith. Keep fighting. I think we may get America back. But in the meantime, we've got a steep hill to climb. And you're one of the fighters, one of the patriots. So thank you for what you're doing.
Good morning, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. What are we? Tonight's show is brought to you by Percival Flag Company. Nobody knows we're on because it's Thursday night, and we're never on Thursdays. We're always on Wednesdays, but Olivia had to play Diablo, so here we are Thursday. Go to pfcflags.com and buy a flag. Why? I don't know. It just sounded like a good thing to do. Here we go. Let's get to the show. First off, we've got Amy in the house. Amy, welcome to the show.
Holy cannoli, oh, mother of pearl.
And you're like, holy cannoli, oh, mother of pearl.
You all need to get this shared out fast because we're just slow. I mean, 39. I haven't seen this since like 1962. Next on the show is Olivia, who needs to scoot over just a little bit because you're off center. You need to come this way. No. Just come this way. Come this way. It's too hard. It's never too hard. No. It's never too. Fine. I'll move it. I'll just move the darn thing, please. Can't believe we got to fix this on the fly. I mean, like, I can't do it. You just got to move over a little bit, please. Thank you. There we go. The reason why, oh, hold on. Here, shrink that. That's what she said. You did not just move back.
I did, because my
Would
microphone
you stop
won't
it?
move.
Would you stop it? Seriously, knock it off. All right, hold on.
Oh, I almost wore that shirt tonight, Amy.
I forgot I had this shirt. And we were going to go out to dinner. And I was like, what can I wear? Because I don't ever dress up in my normal life. So found this hanging in my closet. I was like, heck yeah, I'm wearing that out to dinner.
Well, I'm really proud. For the first time ever, everybody's wearing a Don't Unfriend Me shirt, which makes me happy and pumped.
I'm wearing my wine shirt, so I got my
Yeah. So if you have not
wine.
had a chance, go to the Don't Unfriend Me store at thedumshow.com, and you can get yourself a pretty cool shirt. I mean, we have. Did you see the new one, Olivia? No is the answer, Liv. Liv, it's
No?
always no, because even if you
No.
have, then I'm like, oh, well, then I don't have to show it to the viewers. So you have to realize I really don't care.
No, I was
if-
working, so I didn't see it.
See, there you go. Great. So, folks, this is what it's all about. It's coming. It's a big fight. Holy moly, leave our kids alone. There it is, folks. With the rainbow-colored lion. Yes, symbology, folks. Leave our kids alone. It's available on the Don't Unfriend Me store. You can find that if you go to thedumshow.com. You get 10% off. It's available. It's very popular. People seem to be pretty excited about it. So listen, Joe Biden and the Joe Biden economy. And I don't want to go too much into this because honestly, I don't want to get a headache. I don't want to get a headache. But Joe Biden, his poll numbers are just atrocious. And he's going to listen, it doesn't matter. Every single election, it's always about three things. It's always about geopolitics, and it's going from third to first. Geopolitical situations, war, what's going around the world economy, world overall image. The second thing usually is crime, and then the third is the first is always the economy. The tagline, "It's the economy, stupid," is exactly correct. So Biden, of course, knows he's toast. He's toast. His economy is not going to listen. Yes, there's been some stability, but not recovery. This isn't a recovery. This brings us still short of where Donald Trump was. Now, if you look at the trajectory of overall business, stock market, they said wasn't an indicator of economic wealth, right? Stock market, Donald Trump had the highest record of the stock market ever in U.S. history. And they're like, oh, well, that's not indicative of overall economy. So you don't get to go ahead and tout that line. Inflation is still up. Goods are still up. The real estate market's a trashed event. Look at the interest rate on the Fed. Buying a home in America is $200,000 more than it was on average in livable areas. We're not talking slums. So he is going around saying, well, here's the things that I'm doing. Remember the Build Back Better, the infrastructure bill, where he said, oh, yeah, we're going to get internet in the inner cities, even though Comcast, Charter, Verizon, AT&T already provide free internet to most of these inner city areas. And if they do, it's not the government providing it. They're literally using your taxpayer dollars to subsidize contracts with these companies and utilizing their fiber optic.
Yep.
The United States government doesn't own fiber optics. It's actually owned by the companies. This is why AT&T, Comcast have won the battle, because their leasing rates for other smaller companies to come in are absolutely ridiculous to stream broadband and internet, TV, everything else. So he didn't do anything there. Okay, all he's doing is taking your money and spending it. Infrastructure. What infrastructure? You got railways failing. You got bridges going down. How about your airport? Does it seem better to you? Where's this a massive construction except for being able to build a bridge in 12 days in Pennsylvania, but not doing it in 12 years in every other state on every other project? Requiring made in America products. That's not true. I have not seen more made in America products except for veterans and companies like mine and other people. There's nothing. Where's the initiative? I don't see commercials. I don't see Walmart putting up there, our stuff is made in America. We don't buy stuff overseas, because that's not true. Remember those commercials? I don't see that. I don't see the screaming eagle after everything. I don't hear car manufacturers saying we're no longer buying Japanese parts or we're not buying semiconductors from Taiwan. I don't see any of that. The CHIPS Act, forget about it, please. Give me a break. Ending junk fees. Yeah, so I can get Taylor Swift concert tickets at the low price of $12,000 per ticket. Thank you for saving me that $100 fee for parking lot security. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it. Oh, no more baggage fees. Wonderful. But I still got to spend $769 for a round trip ticket anywhere. Thanks. Education for workers? What? Education for what? What are we talking? What does that mean? What is education for workers? I don't understand it. Help me understand. Are we talking about expanding job? I'm almost done. I got to go off. And then I'm going to open it up. You guys are going to talk all damn night. Right now.
Well, I'm just the education for workers. That's all.
But what is it? What does it mean?
It's the re-education of workers. So we have our, we have to talk about how to be politically correct and all of those things.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So re-education camps, that makes sense. Yeah. But education for workers, what are you trying to, are you going to teach them new skills? Are you going to teach people who are in the coal mine industry, what? How to create solar panels? Who's paying for that? What's going to happen there? Why aren't the corporations paying for this? Why is the government getting involved in this? Are you telling me everyone who drills for oil, we're going to start, having them grow corn and start focusing on ethanol production? That horrible subsidized crap that loses us how many billions a year do we lose on ethanol production, which overall costs more in carbon footprint to make than it actually saves. And it costs us money because we subsidize it because it's a failure. We're going to do that? Come on. Give it a break. All those car manufacturers, we're going to teach them how to go ahead and build Teslas? Give me a break. Come on. Investing in clean energy. What? Did you just hear Sweden and Denmark and 3 other Scandinavian areas and municipalities are giving up on windmills and solar panels because they're finding that it costs more to make and it costs more to go ahead and upkeep than they're actually producing? They're giving up on solar stills and windmills. Why? Because it doesn't work. You know what they're looking into? Listen to the liberal meltdown. Nuclear energy. Oh, reactors. Oh, wow. If only we said that. But there's this huge fear of it, even though they've absolutely, unless we have a tsunami, I think we're going to be okay. So we don't put it on the San Andreas Fault. Probably a good idea. But there's plenty of places where we put nuclear plants where there are stable, rich environments with people willing to work. You would create hundreds of thousands of jobs. What are we doing? Lowering prescription drug costs? What? By instituting Donald Trump's plans that you let lapse and then just reinstated them? Congratulations, Joe. By the way, Russia is losing the war in Iraq. If nobody's heard,
I heard that.
I just want to let everybody know this is part of the economic plan. Russia is losing the war in Iraq. All right. That's what I'm talking about. That should at least be 10 points in popularity for Joe Biden to get it reelected. How about this? Raise taxes on the wealthiest people. Well, what do we define as wealthy? Because every single person's in the tax bracket, every single taxes went up. We went up because of inflation. You can sit here and pretend that taxes didn't go up, but you're being taxed every single time you buy something. We already discussed that. You're losing 33 cents on the dollar from what you were getting paid last year. When it comes to the average worker at 1147 is making 1103 now on average. What does that mean to you? What does that equate to you on a $100,000 salary? That's a lot of money. It's $3,700 less. That's a big chunk of change. That could at least keep us in the habit of playing Diablo and not working for a week or two, Liv? All right, let's close this up. Americans and largest corporations raising taxes on the corporations. And then lastly, crackdown on tax avoiders. Yeah, by hiring 87,000 IRS agents. How many veterans could we have hired to put in schools to stop school shootings? How many watchdog programs could we have for the inner city neighborhoods? How many businesses could we actually incentivize to bring people into the inner cities and go ahead and stopping crime and stopping all the shootings that are taking place by giving these kids somewhere other to work than McDonald's, Jack in the Box, and Popeye's effing chicken? I don't know. But this is not an economic plan that I like. There's only one thing that I like about Joe Biden's economic plan. Hopefully it's ending in less than 16 months. That's the only thing that I'm excited about, because anyone who says that the economy is better than it was right before COVID with Donald Trump is on some serious product that Joe Biden's taking to stay awake and relevant. I hope that war in Iraq ends soon. Last thing I'm going to say, and then we'll get into the show, because this is important, people. Here are my counterpoints to Joe Biden's plan. Just some things that you should write down. Prime interest rate for the first-time buyers in America on a mortgage, 7% highest in the tech area. Small business loans and land purchases edge higher to 8.4% higher year over year. The U.S. dollar has gone from 80% of the global reserve currency used to settle payments between countries to less than 60%. 8%. People aren't using the dollar anymore for business. That's terrifying. Look what happened to Japan when that happened to them. We've experienced the full closure of major banks where the Fed had to quietly intervene to prevent dominoes falling. New and used vehicles remain overpriced. Housing has just started to correct maybe 1% of the 30% it went up before the Fed spiked the interest rates. Inflation has slowed to more around 5 to 6% of the real number, but shrinkflation is probably accountable for 3 to 4% of the decrease as a overall reach in statistics. Less chips in the bag, same price. Unemployment is down and earnings are up, kind of, which typically means good things, except you would need a 14% raise to make the same thing next year you made in 2022. Coupled with real purchasing power of the US dollar is a slide down. Primary global rivals have started their own payment systems to compete against SWIFT and combined into BRICS Plus, which is BRICS Plus, directly challenging the US dollar and its reserve. If you think those are 8 points that you can use at any time, I'll post them on the site and you can send them to any liberal and ask them, you know what they're going to say? You're a racist. Stop being racist. Amy, how's it going today? Sorry, I had to get that out today. I was just frustrated. What's going on?
Nothing, just plugging away at work, trying to make up for all that inflation because, man, as much as I'm working, life is expensive here in Northern Virginia.
It certainly is. I can't move. I mean, I'm stuck on a gold mine on this house, but I can't move because my interest rate's going to be what, 5, 6?
For the VA, I think it's, I think, and this, I'm just working with someone with the VA loan. I think, and they are excellent credit, like they're amazing.
3.5?
No, it was higher than that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty high, and yeah, it's bad.
How do we got locked in at 2.25. How do I leave?
Yeah, you can't.
I can't. Because even if I go somewhere, the differential in interest payments and overall cost of housing now, I'm not going to save anything. Unless I move to like
house and rent it
like
out.
Sap Willow, Georgia or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Georgia.
expensive. I mean, it's really hard. I've literally just had this conversation about an hour ago with a client about the price points, and, you know, around here, the average home is you cannot get a starter home for $500,000. You just can't. You can get
there's nothing.
There's really nothing. And it's like, well, if you're under $1 million, it's so competitive. It's so, even at $1 million, it's so competitive. You can't get a house unless you're spending over $1 million here.
I was looking at this house and the minor things that we want to do to it. This house, I can't let it go. It's perfect because this is my retirement. Let's face it, you know? Yeah. And I'm not retiring anytime soon. I'm going to kick off like Rush Limbaugh, man. I'm going to be doing this with my gold-plated microphone, and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And even if people don't show up, especially tonight, my gosh, you know, I hate when we reschedule Olivia, we got to promote it earlier because people are like, oh, Matt's on. I mean, that'll be the #1 most consistent comment. Livy, you ready to get the show started? What's up?
Yep. I just hate it when they make nicknames for things.
Ugh.
Obamacare, Bidenomics. Ugh. Just
Yeah.
gag me with the spoon.
You know what's funny? Here's an interesting little bit that you probably don't know. And like gag me with a spoon, like pitchfork. Do you have like a soundbite for a Valley Girl? I thought, well, then why don't you get busy? So anyway. As if. If you don't know this, Obamacare wasn't coined by Obama. It was actually coined by the GOP and the Republicans. And they called it Obamacare in a degrading way and derogatory way. And then Obama, you know, once he got the teeth into it, you know, instead of calling it the Affordable Care Act, said, you know what, we're going to stick with Obamacare. And his administration started calling it Obamacare. So if you didn't know that, there's a little bit of trivia for you. Useless trivia. That's why you don't want to play me in Trivial Pursuit. Tonight on the Don't Unfriend Me show, we got a stacked show. Who's excited for this Thursday?
Me.
Gosh.
I'm excited.
Oh, me too. I'm just, wow. Whole bunch of good stuff. Thursday, June 29th, 2023. Leroy, Amy, and myself are in the house. Women shouldn't vote. Question mark. This should be fun with this panel. I'm going to duck. Affirmative action meltdown. A lot of people don't know, but affirmative action, kiss it goodbye. The death of affirmative action. We'll talk about it tonight. Senator Keys, voter's car. It's not Senator Keys like needs voters, and he's going to use cars and the automotive industry to get voters. No, he keyed a car, and
Right.
I've got the footage.
Nice.
And the police. Hunter's laptop is freaking disgusting. I got hepatitis just from watching the video. I swear, I got an STD. I'm like, is Provasic right for your herpes flare up? I feel like I need to walk through a field of wheat and swim with dolphins on a commercial right now because I'm taking Provasic. Is your herpes getting you down? Then try Provasic. Ask your doctor if Provasic's right with you. May cause anal warts, heart disease, brain cancer, boobies falling off, warts, lepatitis.
Lepatitis?
It is. It's leprosy and hepatitis combined. You haven't heard of lepatitis? Listen,
No.
I slept at a Holiday Inn Express. I know these type of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know things about pigeons, Lily. Name the movie.
No idea.
Hang on.
Come on. Name the movie. I know things about pigeons,
I
Lily.
know what the movie
It's how he
is.
says it. Listen, I know things about pigeons, Lily.
I know the actor. I know the actress.
I know things about pigeons.
The premise of the movie. I just
Google
can't
it.
think of the name.
You're not going to get it. You can't get
Hang
it.
on. Okay, I'll
I know
like,
things about pigeons.
belt it
Oh,
out in the
shit.
middle of the show.
We got to put all that shit back on.
Yes.
Come on. Come on.
I know what it
Well,
is.
then tell me what it is.
I can't remember the name. Hang on. It'll come to me. Just
Same government
In
that
the
taught
line
you
of
how to
fire- in the line
defend
of
taught
fire.
me how to kill. What?
In the line of fire.
It is in the line of fire.
thank you,
Clint
Amy.
Eastwood.
The line of
I
fire.
have no
That's
idea.
absolutely.
I don't watch
That's absolutely
movies.
right. Lepatitis. It's the first time I ever heard about that. He was the Secret Service agent who had lepatitis, and that's why Kennedy was assassinated. It's really, folks, these things are really important. All right, let's get to it. We got a lot to do. We got to stop screwing around. 1, 2, 3. Affirmative action. Affirmative action meltdown. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. We don't have that soundbite, do we? No.
No,
That's so much better than me doing it. Affirmative action meltdown. Holy crap, is everybody going crazy? Because the SCOTUS ruled. Now, listen, if Joe Biden thinks this is bad, wait till they don't approve loan forgiveness on college debt, because that's if affirmative action gets turned over, do you really think they're going to go ahead and force people to pay for everyone's college, but they just told minorities, sorry, you don't get special treatment anymore in college? Holy crap. Does anyone think that bombshell is not going to just like rivet through the halls of the White House and the Oval Office? There's just no chance. There's no chance. It's not happening. So, Olivia, do you know what affirmative action is?
Why I'm on a political show, I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, you're here for your looks.
Exactly.
Now the question
Yeah,
is
the
Amy
looks.
here for her looks? Amy, do you know what affirmative action is?
I don't know the definition, but I can give my definition of it, which is where, we have to. I guess it applies to schools. We have to. They're higher. We have to have a certain amount of race diversity, sexual, or if you identify as a girl or a boy, diversity in the workplace. Right? Am I right?
No, not at all.
Minorities and I have no idea.
Okay, so affirmative action, 58 years old. Affirmative action essentially was to design for colleges predominantly that hadn't really introduced not segregation, but were thumbing the scales on consistently recruiting and choosing white males for colleges. Now, also recruiting in a lesser clip females at the same time, but minorities, Hispanics, Asians, whatever, predominantly were not being accepted based upon skin color. So these schools were required to hire a diversity style type educator and board that would allow a certain percentage of African Americans, Hispanics, and Asians based upon populations and demographics to come in over white candidates simply because of the color of their skin. Where it would say, if you had a black candidate and you had a white candidate, and they both had the same GPA. They were both 6'4", both 225. You would bring in the black candidate. So affirmative action was one of two things. It was forced equity, which you can't do. There's no such thing because people are different inherently in so many different ways. And the second thing it would do was to fill quotas for recruiting and allowing scholarships to go to a certain group of people based upon racial demographics. The problem with affirmative action is it was very good. I mean, a lot of people were shot down over the last 25 years based upon their skin color. And what we're seeing is Asian Americans predominantly and white Americans, women and men, were losing the ability to go to school based upon affirmative action. Same thing we've talked about and we're seeing in the workplace. Now, we just got rid of Roe v. Wade, which sat and contributed to 67 million babies being murdered in the United States. Now you're seeing affirmative action fail. And what they're saying, and in my opinion, and I truly believe this, is that affirmative action now in today's society is racist. Mm-hmm. Now, some people don't understand that, and they say, well, how can you say that if it was good then and it's good now? Well, slavery was good at one point, and we went ahead and got rid of that. Roe v. Wade was responsible for legalized murder, and we made changes to that. There's a lot of things in our Constitution that have changed, including women not being able to vote and the 3/5 compromise and things to that effect that ultimately need to be modified in order to be relevant in today's society. Now, there's some differences here. Affirmative action and Roe v. Wade weren't rights. Now, a lot of people say, well, why don't we go ahead and change the Second Amendment? Well, there's a difference between a right, which is inherent from God and natural given rights, and somebody tacking on a law to an amendment and a right, like the 14th Amendment, and saying that abortion has something to do with the 14th Amendment, that affirmative action has something to do with the 14th Amendment. And truly, that is the Democrats' will of what they do, is anytime they have something that they want to go ahead and slap onto the Constitution, they always go to the 14th Amendment. And anytime that the Republicans want to remove something from legislation as unconstitutional, they rely on the 10th Amendment to do so. And this is just kind of the dragon's bane to both parties. So affirmative action today by the SCOTUS was struck down. I'm going to read you the dissenting opinion. Everyone remembers Ketanji Brown Jackson, remember? Her fantastic greatest hits of not being able to define what a woman is. Does everyone remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What an amazing woman. Here is her dissenting opinion. Now, it really doesn't matter what her opinion is because nobody gives a shit because she didn't get to go ahead and judge on this because she went to one of the schools that's in question. So she has a conflict of interest. So she had to sit this one out. They put her on the bench. I guess that's racist too, huh? Conflict of interest, considering she went to Harvard. Maybe she's parking a car in the yard and getting a pickle at the deli. She says, with let them eat cake obliviousness today, the majority pulls the ripcord and announces color blindness for all by legal fiat. But deeming race irrelevant in law does not make it so in life. And having so detached itself, that is the greatest line that I'm going to use against her for the rest of her life. Right. Every time I talk, because she just admitted that racism can't be stopped. She just admitted that racist behavior is with the individual and is not institutional. She just said there's no such thing as institutional racism, folks. Listen to the words. These are important. But deeming race irrelevant in law does not make it so in life. And having so detached itself from this country's actual past and present experiences, the court has now been lured into interfering with the crucial work that UNC and other institutions of higher learning are doing to solve America's real-world problems. No one benefits from ignorance, although formal race-linked legal barriers are gone. Race still matters to the lived experience of all Americans in innumerable ways, and today's ruling makes things worse, not better. The best that can be said of the majority's perspective is that it proceeds ostrich-like from the hope that preventing consideration of race will end racism. But if that is its motivation, blah, blah, blah. would like to get Olivia and Amy's opinion on this. And if you simply have none, that's fine. But what are your thoughts? Because to me, that's damning. That basically says to me that, that's not the right one. Hold on. Basically says to me that she's admitting that legal legislation and law in systemic racism no longer exists. And I want to applaud her for that. Do we have some applause for Kajani Brown Jackson, Olivia? Something that we can give her? Do I need to find it? Thank you. I think it's brave. It's extremely brave. Amy, your thoughts?
I love that we can all be colorblind now, that it's not going to, we can just judge people on their merits and not on the color of their skin. That's how it should be. That's how it should have always been. And I think it's racist to, to have someone who's a minority or has a different skin color get a position over someone with a different skin color, no matter what it is, because that devalues the person who got in if their merits aren't as good. And then if they can't hack it in school, then they're bringing down the overall value of the school, which diminishes the education overall. And then if you have a Harvard degree, but you let in anyone who has a difference, who isn't the right skin color, I guess, according to whatever that may be, then if you're not as smart, it diminishes that value. Like, who cares if you have a Harvard law degree? If you can't hack it at Harvard, then you have to change the curve. You have to change the way things are taught. You have to change what's important instead of teaching what is the absolute best. I don't know. I think it's pretty accurate and pretty clear.
Somebody said that the 3/5 compromise. I got to fix this. Hold on. 3/5 compromise is look at what is going on here, Liv. Liv, what happened to the cameras? There's you. There's me. Switch it again. I was like, God, my boobs look great. All right, so 3/5 compromise, Pambu saying, is a blessing. You don't. Oh gosh, hold on. That it was a blessing for slavery. I don't have any problem with the 3/5 compromise. In fact, I've defended it on the show many times. It's not about calling people 3/5 of a person. There's a reason why. And if we all wanted to be screaming rebel yell and have the stars and bars as our nation's flag, there was a reason why we had to use the 3/5 compromise. Anytime you want an education on it, let me know. But Donald's right. Liv, your thoughts on this whole thing?
Well, I'm happy it's over. Like, I agree with Amy that you should be able to get into college or get a job based on your merit, based on your grades, based on your experience, as opposed to what the color of your skin is. And I know somebody, you know them too. I won't name them on the show, but they wanted to be a physical therapist and great grades in high school. They wanted to go to school to be a physical therapist, and he didn't get in because he's white. And he was told that up front. They have too many white people in the program. They need more minorities. So he didn't get in. So he never went to school for physical therapy, which is a bummer because that's what he wanted to do.
Right.
And it's ridiculous.
It is.
It's very ridiculous. And my dad is half Mexican, so we can claim Hispanic if we want to, but he never did until he stopped getting opportunities. So he started claiming he was Hispanic, and he got the jobs after that. So it's really ridiculous. And
Thank you.
I've never claimed I'm Hispanic. I always say I'm white on any application of any kind. So
maybe I should say I'm a Jewish lesbian black woman.
Exactly.
I think I would make a boat ton of money. I agree. Everything you said, absolutely correct. Here's Clarence Thomas with affirming. This is affirmation. This is affirming the opinion versus dissenting. It says, yet Justice Jackson would replace the second founder's vision with an organizing principle based on race. In fact, on her view, almost all of life's outcomes may be unhesitantly ascribed to race. Post at 2426. This is so, she writes, because of statistical disparities among different racial groups. Even if some whites have a lower household net worth than some blacks, what matters to Justice Jackson is that the average white household has more wealth than the average black household. This lore is not and has never been true. Even in the segregated South where I grew up, individuals were not the sum of their skin color. Then as now, not all disparities are based on race. Not all people are racist, and not all differences between individuals are ascribable to race. Put simply, the fate of abstract categories of wealth and statistics is not the same as the fate of giving set of flesh and blood human beings, Soul says. Worse still, Justice Jackson uses her broad observations about statistical relationships between race and select measures of health and wealth and well-being to label all blacks as victims. Her desire to do so is unfathomable to me. I cannot deny the great accomplishments of black Americans, including those who succeeded despite long odds. Nor do Justice Jackson's statistics regarding a correlation between levels of wealth, health, and well-being between selected racial groups prove anything. Of course, none of those statistics are capable of drawing a direct causal link between race, rather than socioeconomic status or any other factor and individual outcomes. So Justice Jackson supplies the link herself. The legacy of slavery and the nature of inherited wealth. This, she claims, locks blacks into a seeming perpetual inferior caste. Such a view is irrational. It is an insult to an individual achievement and cancerous to young minds seeking to push through barriers rather than consign themselves to permanent victimhood. If an applicant has less financial means because of generational inheritance or otherwise, then surely a university may take that into account. If an applicant has medical struggles or a family member with medical concerns, a university may consider that too. What it cannot do is use applicant skin color as a heuristic, assuming that because the applicant checks the box for black, he therefore confirms the university's monolithic and reductionist view of an abstract average black person. Accordingly, Justice Jackson's race-infused worldview falls flat at each step. Individuals are the sum of their unique experiences, challenges, and accomplishments. What matters is not the barriers they face, but how they choose to confront them. And their race is not to blame for everything good or bad that happens in their lives.
That was a lot of big words.
It's just a lot. It's what's known as a slam dunk. It literally compares Ketanji Brown Jackson's education, which is poor, and Clarence Thomas. And they are both, according to the left, victims or benefactors of affirmative action. There's no evidence of that. They're saying Clarence Thomas got into school because of affirmative action. Well, I want to see that, right? I want you to show me that, because I think if Clarence Thomas told you anything about himself, is that he didn't get where he is because he's black, and it was in spite of it. And Ketanji Brown Jackson is sitting here and saying, from the highest court of the land, as a female black Supreme Court justice, saying the system's rigged. And not only... And here's where the racism comes in from her, is black people aren't smart enough to compete with white people. That's what she's saying. That's racist in itself. If you're saying that there's no hope for black people simply because they're black, then that is racist in itself, hands down. So this whole thing is a meltdown. Real quick, I want to read one more thing to you, and this one's really short.
Well, can I just ask a question really quick? So
Yeah,
do you
go ahead.
feel that she believes that she is not deserving of her position and it was handed to her because of the color of her skin and, that she has a vagina?
That's a fantastic question. That's a fantastic question. I don't even know if she would define herself as having a vagina when she can't even define what a woman is. But
right.
I think it's a fantastic question, because not only is she invalidating her entire response and her dissenting opinion, she's devaluating her own success as being the highest jurist in the land. It's not that affirmative action worked. It's that African Americans have the same level of ability. And it's not limited by government. It's not limited by laws. And for her to sit here and say that there is no systemic racism, that there are no more laws of the yesteryear that are holding African Americans back, well, then what you're saying is that African Americans are inferior to white people. And that shit is completely racist, because that's the only thing left. Economics disparity. Well, why can't they go ahead and Find a new position, find a new job, go get an education through the government programs. Why can't they look at lower end housing and also loans that come out from these college campuses that provide them all the time? So you may not be able to go to Harvard, but generational wealth is usually a stepping stone. It's a stairway. It's not a bridge. It's going to each run of the ladder up. It's not a horizontal move. It's a vertical progression. And that is why we should always believe that we will be better off. Our children will be better off than we were. We're better off than my parents were for sure. And I believe my kids will be the same. Why is that different? Because somebody's African American. I think it's incredibly racist. Speaking of racist, here's Erica Marsh, who, this isn't her real picture. I love these women who do this. Women are beautiful. Why can't you just be proud of what you look like? I never understand that. You know, some guy today told me that my beard looks like pubes. And I said, yeah, I appreciate that. But the funny thing is you don't have a picture up. You have a picture of your wristwatch, which means that you're insecure and you want to go ahead and leverage materialistic things and make yourself feel better. Sure, I can put myself out there and somebody can go ahead and make fun of my appearance. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all, actually. What bothers me is that you're shooting from the cheap seats, but you don't want to go ahead and make equal representation. You don't want to put yourself out there and be vulnerable because you're ashamed of what you look like. At least I'm not ashamed of it, right? I love that Olivia comes on here with a hat sometimes. I love that Amy comes in here after a long day of work. I think it's great. Be comfortable with who you are. Erica Marsh isn't. She has a filter on, makes her look like she's 17 years old, but really she looks like a cleft foot. No offense.
Is this
today's
really
Supreme Court? Huh?
This is real? She actually tweeted this?
Oh, she tweeted this. Today's Supreme Court decision is a direct attack on black people. No black person will be able to succeed in a merit-based system, which is exactly why affirmative action-based programs were needed. Today's decision is a travesty.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit. White people are so upset. It's amazing. I haven't seen a lot of black people complain. I've seen a shit ton of white middle-aged men and women complain who all have had way too much wine on their way to the mall. Any other thoughts on the Supreme Court affirmative action?
Do they even realize how racist they sound when they're saying it's just like we can't have require IDs when voting,
right?
Because black people aren't able to go get IDs.
It's too hard. It's too hard for them to go ahead and leave the line at McDonald's and go down to the DMV. Oh my gosh, really? Why don't you go ahead and throw some grape juice and chicken and watermelon in there, you racist bastards? I mean, liberals are absolutely, they just don't even understand how, and it's always white liberals. Their white guilt has turned them into obnoxious, just placators and pontificators. I don't understand this. Why is this girl popular? Which African American listens to her and goes, oh, white girl, tell it what it's like to be black. Tell our story.
Say it, girl.
Right. Tell our story. You don't know, lady, if you were in the neighborhoods I grew up in, you would be pummeled for talking like that. You just said black people, and this is a quote, black people are too dumb to be successful without special rights.
Yep.
Oh my God. How are you still alive?
That's what were the comments like? I need is the tweet still up? Because that to me is
13,000 views, 300 likes. I mean, her ratio sucks. I have better ratio than that. But still, people are like, "Oh, you tell it, girl." But like the Hodge twins are on there, they're like, "Bitch, you tripping?"
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, Hodge twins are like, "Bitch, you tripping?" I'm just sitting there going, Erica, I said, your white guilt is making you say things that are absolutely, it seems like you were eating retarded sandwiches for breakfast. You're insane.
it sounds, what she said is incredibly racist. I know. You can't even spin it another way. Like, the words are incredibly horrible and demeaning, and that's just awful. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna go look up this tweet because
But see, the thing is that if YouTube catches this or they flag this, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, these guys are being raped. No, we're not. We're saying that there is no difference between us and black people, minus the melanin in our skin and pigmentation. Who cares? And you know what? If it's between me and some woman or man or black or gay or Jew or Gentile, I don't care, because I'm not going to blame the person. I'm going to blame the university. I'm going to blame the job. Like when Starbucks decided to hire a middle-aged lesbian female. I wasn't mad at Starbucks. Or the lady, I was mad at Starbucks. She should take the job. Hold on one second. Karen Yerkes. Fact that lady's appointment by the depraved dementia Biden whacks, in fact, a huge Wow. I can't read all that. I don't know what it says. Never mind. I was going to try. Oh, I'll try. Discrimination against all people who are not a black woman. He stated that he wanted, only black women, eliminating all others. Again, Biden broke the law and nothing's done. What a damn lie. Well, it comes down to this. That's affirmative action in the workplace, right? Is Ketanji Brown Jackson, although certainly it was a qualified jurist, and I've said this, she absolutely was a qualified jurist. She was very well qualified. But the whole point of the reason why she got it was what Biden said. I'm going to hire a black SCOTUS, a black jurist. Well, and female. So you automatically said that everyone else other than a black female was going to be overlooked. So how is that equitable? How is that equity? It sounds, instead of being equitable, you're placating. Yeah. You're providing special treatment, which is racist in itself. I mean, can't we understand that the opposite of racism isn't to be racist against white people or Asians or Hispanics? That doesn't, two negatives don't counteract each other, guys and girls. Or one positive doesn't necessarily detract from a negative. That's not the way it works. How about we do the right thing, which is we don't set a bar too low or too high. We just set a standard bar for everybody. Shouldn't it be that's what it is? Isn't that the way a meritocracy works? Isn't that what we are? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Let's get into a good video. Let's get into something else. Senator Joshua Miller Key's car. Has anyone heard about this guy?
I heard about it, but I didn't do any research on it.
Yeah.
So Democrat state senator accused of keying car called to step down by Rhode Island GOP chair. First of all, you're from Rhode Island, which means that everybody there is white. Mm-hmm. Second, you're from Rhode Island, which they could throw a rock.
Hey, designer.
And
want to know how I work like a freelancer,
I can't believe they're
deliver
doing
like
it.
studio?
How?
I use Envato Elements.
How?
It's my little secret.
Mute page.
I love
Mute it.
because it's the only creative
I can't skip
subscription that
ad.
gives
There it is. Okay. So, Fox News, shut up. Okay. So what you're saying is that you could throw a rock in Rhode Island and more than likely not only throw it to a new county, but probably hit a family member of the person who did the dastardly deed. It's Rhode Island, okay? Number two, this guy's a senator. And I can't imagine, okay, has anyone heard anyone famous coming from Rhode Island? I rest my case. Like, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest singer ever told.
I don't know.
Buckwheat Johnson from Rhode Island. Miss America, where are you from? Rhode Island? Things you've never heard. Things you've never heard. Hey, this guy is the greatest NFL player ever, and he's from Rhode Island High School. No, never. Nope, no. So nothing happens in Rhode Island, so I guarantee this guy is known. But what he did is he went and keyed a car, and he was caught, and one of his constituents saw the whole thing, got it on recording, and the cops came to investigate, and then they came back and went to his house that night and nailed him on it. And he's being called to resign. And my thoughts are this, pretty simple. If Donald Trump is going to be indicted for taking documents and now is receiving another 40 stacks on top of it, they're expanding the indictment. I don't know if you've heard this. They're going to charge him and his accomplice with another 43 indictments is the word in the next couple days. So now this one case is going to have 70 some odd charges attached to this. Olivia, are you listening to this?
Yes.
70 some. This is why you don't contribute, because you don't listen. What are you doing?
I was looking up famous people from Rhode Island.
No, that's not important right now. We're not doing that. We're doing this. So when I ask you a question, you're not like, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. You know that one that you always say every show? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. So 40 more charges on top of Donald Trump in the next couple of days is what they're adding. 70 some odd charges is what he's going to have to face. You don't call that piling on? So this guy is going to get away with it. Sorry, honey, I didn't mean to come down on you. I'm just like,
First at 5,
it's not for my health, sweet pea. I'm just telling you. Jeez. Did you find anyone famous from Rhode Island?
Matthew Schneider from the Red Wings.
Who?
Exactly.
Who? Matt Schneider? He hasn't played since like 1986. Anybody important?
I don't know. And I would let me look up today's celebrities.
There isn't anybody. There's nobody. Amy, do you know anyone who's famous from Rhode Island? Anybody?
I don't, but I actually have clients that I'm working with right now that are moving to our area from Rhode Island. So I'm gonna ask them tomorrow when I chat with them. They might know. Never know.
So Olivia, what did you find? Now that we did, because you know what, it's actually a good idea. You're right. I'll eat crow. Anybody else?
I can say, what's that movie with Jim Carrey that was filmed in Rhode Island? I don't know if maybe there was somebody in that film. What was it called?
I don't know,
Myself,
because
and Irene.
I've never heard of it. No, I have heard of it. I'm just teasing.
Leon Wilkeson, the bassist for Leonard Skinner.
Right. So nobody since 1972 because everyone's left. Anybody important? Yep. Go take a look, folks. I saw it right before I came on. Go to the independent.co.uk and go look it up. They're coming out, of course, with a sealed indictment that's completely private, saying that another 40 indictments are coming on. And you know what it means? It means someone released the tape, and now they're saying, well, why? How come he's not being charged for this tape? And now they're going to add more indictments based on that tape because it wasn't on the original string of indictments. This is what's going to happen. I told you, this is going to happen to Donald Trump till November. Nothing will change. They are going to destroy him every day of the month until he just can't take it anymore. It's ridiculous. All right, let's watch this, Jack. You found nobody from Rhode Island who's popular, did you?
Not really, no.
See, told you.
Seeing anyone.
Told you. There's nobody in the history of Rhode Island has ever made anything from themselves. It's horrible. Just sounds like we need affirmative action for Rhode Island.
Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Who?
She's a TV star.
No, she's not.
Meredith Vieira.
Who?
TV star.
No, she's not. All right, here we go. Liv, let's pull our head out of the phone. Let's watch
Rhode
this.
Island State Senator is arrested, accused of keying someone's car in a parking lot.
Now Senator Josh Miller is facing a charge for damaging the vehicle. 12 News reporter Amanda Pitts read through the police report and watched body camera footage.
She joins us now live from Cranston with the details. Amanda?
Wait a second. James Woods is from Rhode Island. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, and I love James Woods. So there's the famous. See, broken clock right twice a day. Taylor Swift is from Rhode Island.
No, Taylor Swift has a house in Rhode Island.
She's not from Rhode Island. Yeah, she has a house. There's a difference.
Yes.
This is
Having a
Deborah
house.
Messing. She's famous, right?
No, not really. No,
And
She was
Polly
in Will and
D.
Grace.
Polly D.
folks, these are not important people. These are. Can you please look up if James Woods actually from Rhode Island, or does he have a house there? Hold on a second.
Yes.
He grew up in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Okay,
Attended
then he's
Pilgrim
the only
High
one
School.
because Taylor Swift is not from Rhode Island. There's no way. Meatloaf is from. Okay, if we're moving to Meatloaf, we're moving on. That's like going Butterbean is a great boxer. Come
Well,
on.
if Hayden was awake, we could ask her where Taylor Swift was born.
She's gonna find
but,
out. Where was Taylor Swift born? Let's find
We're
out.
gonna find out.
All right, hold on.
Viola
And then we can
Davis.
move.
She's famous.
Oh, I like her.
Whatever. These people are nobodies.
No, she's a really good actress.
I don't care.
She
She's
is
been
from Pennsylvania.
See, she's from Pennsylvania. She grew up in the same town, Scranton, with Joe Biden, and he has a Liv, get on your job. Lifeguard, cockroaches. Liv,
yeah.
cockroaches up and down my legs, hairy legs.
Oh.
She was at the pool with Joe
By
Biden.
the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Any other candidate would be out. Any other candidate would be out. If Donald Trump said that, they'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm not busted on Meatloaf. Highway to Hell's a great album. I'm just saying, come on, Meatloaf. I mean, is that your go-to? Meatloaf? Oh yeah, huge. Here we go.
Well, Kim and Shannon, this all went down in the parking lot at Garden City yesterday. Senator Josh Miller is seen on body camera footage, first telling police that he didn't key a car and then later admits to it, but he told police that he was threatened first.
I just need you to step out the truck for me, all right?
So let's just make sure we all understand. If you're threatened, that immediately gives you carte blanche to go key a car. Just everyone remember that. So do you know how many people's car? I'm going to go on a flight tour. and I'm going to record it. Be like, this guy threatened me online, and I'm going to key his car just right on his, don't unfriend me on the top of his hood. Officer comes in. I'm like, dude, but he threatened me. And officer's I'm like, you know what? You're right. Sir, have a nice day. That's what's going to happen? Yeah, right.
Sure. Body camera footage from...
Yeah, not highway to hell, bat out of hell. Thank you. Yeah. Whatever, folks. I'm tired. I'm old. Cut me some slack. You know, at least I didn't say that Russia's losing the war in Iraq, okay? When I start talking that mad stuff, you go ahead and just commit me. Yeah, bat out of hell. Sorry, tired.
Cranston police showing the moments a state senator is questioned for keying an SUV in Garden City on Thursday.
Now, that's not a single buffing. That looks like it's going down to metal. That is a serious keying. Not acceptable.
I have to detain you for right now. All right, I'm investigating a crime, okay?
Okay.
All right.
If it's a maniac who yelled at me in the car next to me.
Josh Miller, a Cranston Democrat, is now facing a vandalism charge. The footage showing the man who accused him pointing out the scratch to police.
He was literally right there next to the scratch. I heard a loud scratching noise, and as I turned the corner, there he was with keys in his hand facing the vehicle.
He said Miller then walked away quickly. Miller said he did so because he was scared. Miller told officers the man called out his name, recognizing him from his work on gun safety legislation.
Called out my name, and I was worried that he was one of the gun nuts who stalked me at the State House, so I kept walking.
The man's SUV has an anti-Biden sticker on the back.
I don't even know any of the senators, to be honest.
But that man told police he saw a re-elect Senator Josh Miller bumper sticker on the truck beside.
First of all, if you buy a Honda Ridgeline truck, you've got problems. There's something wrong with you. You don't buy a Honda truck, okay? I'm just letting you know that's not a real truck. It's not a truck. It's essentially a minivan with...
It drives just like a minivan.
It drives just like a minivan. It is a POS. I test drove one. I'm a Honda guy, and I love Hondas.
We had one for like a day. They had to do something to one of the cars, and that's what the loaner we got from the dealership. It drives just like the minivan.
Correct. It's a POS, okay? And this thing is a Nissan behind it, not a Dodge.
Beside him, Googled the name and matched the face to the person he saw.
Was that him?
Definitely him, 100%.
Police hours later located Miller in the same clothes minus his suit jacket. He first denied the keying.
I didn't scratch his car.
Senator, how are you?
Good.
Good. You got a minute?
Yeah.
But later did when police showed up at his house.
You just got mad and keyed his car.
Because he was already screaming at me. He was threatening
There's a
me
video.
already.
There's a video.
Okay, he was threatening me already.
Miller was arraigned and released on $1,000.
Oh, he looks like Josh from West Wing 30 years from, leaving the show.
Personal recognizance. Now, Miller is back in court next month. His attorney, John McDonald, told us that he will not be making comment until this is all said and done. Live in Cranston.
That's okay, because he said enough in front of the cops. It's on video. Yeah, I keyed it, but he threatened me first. He yelled at me. He made me feel really bad. Well, didn't you guys call for that?
Icky.
Well, can we listen to Maxine Waters? If you say I'm in a restaurant, you're getting there fighters. Can we go ahead and play that video? I mean, isn't that what the Democrats want, is for us to accost politicians, to put dog shit in a bag and light it on fire in front of their front porch? Isn't that what we've been told to do by the liberals? So somebody actually challenged this guy and he keys their car? What a man. Anybody, what type of depraved, like morally lower than snake shit type of human being do you have to be to key a man's car? There's something inherently wrong with you. That's what a girl does when you dance with somebody.
A vindictive ex-girlfriend.
That's exactly. That's what Taylor Swift does from Rhode Island.
I don't care.
It's an Amanda Pitt.
Carrie Underwood.
Oh, that's right. See, I'm screwing up. It's Carrie Underwood. That's
is.
right. That's right. Well, Taylor would do that too. I'm sure she's from Rhode Island.
12 News.
Police say a campaign sticker led to a state senator's arrest for vandalizing a car. Good evening, I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Kim Kalunian. Cranston police say the victim spotted the sticker on the bumper of the truck driven by the person he said.
You can tell you're in Rhode Island. I mean, look at the... I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not going to say it.
Keyed their SUV. That led them to State Senator Joshua Miller, whom police say eventually admitted to doing it. 12 News reporter Amanda Pitts tells us what else she's learned about the...
Amanda Pitts. Amanda Pitts and Sally Toe Jam. They're going to go ahead and be here at 5 o'clock on the news, everybody. Holy shit, can you believe they keyed a car? Later at 5:30, we're talking about that rabbit farting on the highway. It was horrible. Traffic was stopped and backed up for at least 7 miles. Rhode Island.
The case, including the...
It's one of the 2 states I haven't been to, and I wonder why. Because I would see Amanda Pitts and Sally Toe Jam.
The reason Miller gave to police for his actions. Amanda?
Well, Kim and Shannon.
Well, folks, I just want to go ahead and give you my expert eyewitness capabilities as all my 2 years in the local community colleges of journalism. This is the pits. Brr, boom, psh.
This all went down in the parking lot in Garden City yesterday. Senator Josh Miller is seen on that body camera footage telling police that he didn't key that car, and then later he's seen admitting to it, but he says that he was threatened first.
He was literally right there next to the scratch.
Body camera footage from Cranston police showing the moments a state senator is accused of keying an SUV that was parked next to him at Garden. Miller was arraigned and released.
All right. Anyway, so now that we've had a chance to see it, sorry, I actually thought there was more to it, but it looks like they did it. So here's the question: you're a senator, you're elected by the people, and not only do you, that's right, here it is. Yeah.
That should be his argument right there.
Yeah.
Get it out, little guy. Get it out. Get it out.
It's okay, Senator. Would you like a Kleenex?
Okay, now that we're done. So I have a question. Not only is the guy voting to raise taxes, put CRT in schools, sexually transition your children, because he's a liberal. So, of course, they all think the same way because none of them could have an original thought. And if they did, it would be a piece of coal up their ass. In 2 weeks, you could pull it out and it'd be a diamond. They're so tight. So the question I have for you is, can you imagine our local governor, like Youngkin, Amy, us driving down the road, yelling at us and us going, hey, Youngkin, why don't you do more for vets? And he comes over and keys your car. Could you ever imagine a Republican, anybody? Olivia and I will do Kevin McCarthy since we're from Bakersfield, and that's our closest person that we know. Oh, I guess we could use Dan Crenshaw too. But let's just say Youngkin. Could you imagine that? I'd like to get your opinion on this, please.
No, not just Youngkin. I can't imagine anyone, and I know you and I both know, we all know a lot of politically connected people where we are, and everyone that I know and that I like and that I'm friendly with, I could never imagine doing anything remotely like this. I mean, not even yelling at someone. No, they're not going to even raise their voice. Not even close.
Youngkin, I just don't see it. Olivia, your thoughts on this whole thing?
I think he's childish and stupid. I mean, how immature do you have to be to key someone's car? My God. Right.
I'm more interested in the newscasters on Amanda Pitts and Sally Tojam and how they were hired. Definitely not diversity hires. I mean, can you imagine that news station?
I think Kamala Harris gave them some interview tips.
Oh, they're horrible. But that's okay. That's okay. All right, let's get to the next one, because this one it's going to lead into the women shouldn't vote, and I have a feeling that the ladies will have something to say. But either way, the guy needs to be absolutely 100% held accountable and removed from office. I don't care. It's just absolutely stupid. Hunter Biden.
Ugh,
now,
yeah.
I have purposely stayed away from Hunter Biden because I don't care. Can I be honest with you? I don't care. And why should I? I just don't care. Matt, it's the law, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, crimes happen every single day. And it's just like people pretending that mass shootings are more severe than gun violence in the cities. They're both equally horrible, but not from a numbers perspective. And if we want to stop gun violence in the United States, let's go ahead and get some mental health to prevent suicide, and let's stop crime in the inner cities. And that's going to take 95% of the gun violence in America completely down to zero, okay? Let's go ahead and also assume that there's other things that we can do, like abortion, instead of worrying about incest and rape and and medical emergencies. Fine, that's 3% of overall abortions. Let's worry about the other 97% that's used for birth control. Okay, let's focus on the big picture. But this is, I saw this video and I almost listen. Sex is awesome. Sex is fantastic. I am a big fan. I've been a big fan since probably about 12 years old. I like sex. This isn't sex. This is weird shit. There is a file that has all 1,000 pages of Hunter Biden's laptop laid out. You can get it, go search it. I'm not going to tell you where it's at, and you can print it all out. And it shows you every photo. It shows you every note every document, and it is absolutely terrifying how sick, demented, depraved, and disgusting this guy is. Watch.
Is Kim Kardashian on the laptop?
No, this is almost not a laughing matter. It's almost that bad. Watch.
Oh, yeah, it's gross.
You know, I got to put it up on the big screen, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Because I have to. It's that serious. Hold on. It's that serious. So I'm going to put it up on the big screen because it's not, and it's all censored. So I don't want anyone to think, oh, gross, whatever. Here. Let me use that one. No. Yep, I can use this one. Okay. And go to downloads. Because a lot of people aren't going to be able to see it.
You make me happy.
It's pretty
I
bad.
literally did not think she had on pants.
She's such that's so.
I
said
that
the
is a
same
really
thing.
short like romper or something like that. Oh, there's her pants. Literally did not think she had pants on.
I had the same thought, but I had some discretion and I didn't say that. All right, so here's the video. Now you can actually see it. First one
Somebody
is
actually printed this shit out.
yeah, it's women in different poses. Request $1,000 to spend the night with him. And you can download the file and print it out yourself. I mean, some of the things that are in here. I mean, him spread eagle. I mean, look at this stuff. It's all censored, so Facebook can't click on this. There's thousands of pages of this. 10,000 sexually inappropriate images. Things with his niece doing lines of cocaine, and he provided her cocaine. And she's like 17 at the time, I think.
Oh my God.
Him naked with firearms, documents. It's like I decided, okay, I'm going to go take a look because I was pretty...
I need to go take a shower. I'll be right back.
Here's the issue that I have is that he's overseas with his dad. He's going to events at the White House. This guy has visitation to children. This guy, he's a sexual predator. And we're sitting here talking about Donald Trump because some crazy loon, E. Jean Carroll, decides to go ahead and hit him every time he runs for president. And then, you know, whatever. But then you've got legitimate. This guy is in the White House. He has access. You've got him on the laptop. You got him talking. You now have a WhatsApp message where he's literally threatening somebody to pay him money or else. And his dad's sitting right next to him. He only has one dad. It's Joe Biden. He's saying Joe Biden's right here. The whistleblowers are coming out. These aren't whistleblower chumps. These are people who've been with the IRS for 17 years, who worked on this case, who are saying there's something rotten in Denmark. Every time we question anything, every time we tried to go ahead and get a subpoena, every time we tried to go in and ask a question about Joe Biden, we were shut down. It needs to happen. And it's not like I'm ignorant to this. I know what this has been about, but seeing those images, this guy's got some serious freaking problems. And if we think that he's not morally compromised and that Joe Biden, because he has love for his son, this is all about a love for my son, that he is not susceptible to blackmail, or he's not susceptible to Ukraine and Zelensky and China, and we have to look at what's happening with this country and telling we're not backing up Taiwan, giving billions of dollars to Ukraine that costs more than the Afghanistan war in the first 9 months than it did in 2.5 years in Afghanistan. What's going on? How come more questions aren't being asked? So your first reaction to that, would like to get that from you and Amy, and go from there. Go ahead.
That's just disgusting. It's beyond gross. And oh, God, I'm going to have nightmares after seeing some of those pictures, even though they were all blacked out. But still,
who takes a picture? Who photographs that stuff? You know what I mean? I mean, I can understand if a woman, like, okay, can we be transparent here, Liv?
Yeah.
Okay, you've sent me a photo or two. Is that fair?
Yes, but you are my husband, and I sent it to you and you alone, and we had been separated for 3 months. So.
No, whoa. That didn't sound good. Listen to what you just said.
Okay, he was in Virginia and I was in Texas selling the house, so that's why.
That doesn't sound any better. You just made it sound like we're divorced, or folks. He was
here for the job, and I was back home selling.
My God,
Jeez.
we were separated for 3 months. Never. We were apart because of job training, and she was selling the house. And okay, but the whole point is that's completely different than literally hiring prostitutes, doing cocaine, and spreading eagle and taking pictures of my junk. And it's disgusting. I mean, and this guy who leaves that shit around. I mean, I get worried when, I have my iPhone open and she might send me a picture of her in a swimsuit at Target and say, what do you think of this swimsuit? And I'm like looking around, like making sure there's no kids seeing this or anything else. And this guy takes pictures of the holiest of holies and just gives the guys and surrenders laptops and goes, whatever. This guy's completely dangerous. Amy, your thoughts?
Yep. I totally agree. I think anyone who is so morally corrupt, I guess is the word. And we all do things, right? We all have our own skeletons in closets, whatever. Is that the right term? So, people do things that they probably should not do, but to put it on a laptop and then let it be found. And also, no woman wants a picture of your stuff. I don't think that's, maybe if you're married.
Yeah, who does that? Which woman goes, hey man, send me a picture of your Johnson? Has any woman on the history of the planet ever said that?
No. It's gross. I'm sorry.
Easy.
It's offensive looking. I don't want to say that.
Easy. It's not gross. It's not our fault they decided to lob it off. They cut it, What do you want? And even then it doesn't make it any better. It looks like a tube worm.
I don't want to see it, and I feel bad too for the women who are in this book or laptop, all of it. I'm sure their families are going to have questions. I'm sure it's going to come out, and then you've ruined these poor people's lives and put a stigma on them. And you don't know if they were publicly promoting themselves in this way, or if they had, I'm not trying to judge, but I don't agree with that. But you gotta do what you gotta do. But at the same time, this is exactly why you don't do those things, because there are not good people on the other side of that. And you could potentially literally ruin your life and never have any respect. It's just
and
sad.
Imagine how bad it's going to be when Russia loses the war against Iraq. It's going to be be really serious. So the one thing I will say about Joe Biden that I'm seeing more than anything is that he's tired. And I think he's wearing down. And now the questions are, did you take money from your son? Did you take bribery? Did you cover? No. I mean, he's not even saying much anymore. He's just like, no, no. And a lot of people don't understand and don't know this, but there were a couple meetings most recently in the last 3 or 4 days where Joe Biden has specifically met with White House counsel. So he's lawyering up. Mm-hmm. So that is official that Joe Biden is meeting with the White House lawyers and getting advice on what his exit from the presidency will look like and what they've created. And I do kind of feel a little bit sad for Biden, just a little bit, because the Democrats have destroyed him before he's even out of office, because the retribution for what they did to Trump is going to be so bad against Biden, because the amount of circumstantial evidence against Biden is 1,000 times worse than Donald Trump, right? We know the things they're getting for Trump. A lot of it's past. Yes, he's obstructed justice when it comes to this confidential document thing. I've went over it 100 times. I'm not going to go over it again. And I believe he did obstruct justice, okay? And he's going to get a fine for that, and he's going to get a slap on the wrist. We all know what's going to happen. But there are serious crimes, serious amounts of money, and allegations from people who are inside the government who worked on the case against Joe Biden and are saying Merrick Garland is dirty, who's doing Joe Biden's bidding. And this goes back to Obama when he weaponized the IRS. This isn't going to change. And folks, these are all holdovers from Obama's presidency. Joe Biden literally kept the people who were not Donald Trump's people, but who were there from Obama, who Trump didn't replace, and then literally just put in Obama's replacements. And this is Obama's 2.0 presidency. And if you think that they're not weaponizing the alphabet agencies, then you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
You can look at the FISA warrant. You can look at the dirty dossier. You can look at the impeachment, see what happened with January 6th. I mean, Joe Biden is in trouble. Oh, Dave Thibson. Look, it's a no name, no picture guy. Sorry, Davey. I don't pay attention to people who don't have the courage to put their own photo up. So when you do, come on in here. Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't matter.
None of it
You're
is
just a troll.
funny.
Dude, you're just a bot, dude. You're just a bot. And you're not worth my time. Get a picture up. Have some courage. Put your name to the things you say. But of course, you don't want your job knowing this and everything else. The difference between you and me is I don't care, right? I don't work for corporations anymore. I can not do that. So I can say whatever I want, not worry about it. It's liberating to be a man. So, you know,
To be a man.
Yeah, reach down and feel that thing. And if it's an innie, that's why you act the way you do. And if it's an outie, do something about it. Come on, Dave, get on here. Call in. Someone give him the number, please. Someone get. Oh my God, just ban him. Ban him. I'm done. Ban him. Ban him. Get out of here. Dave, get out of here. Get out of here.
Get him out. Ready? Are you ready? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. See you, big guy. Come on. You should have called in. Should have called in. So tough. Hero in his own mind. How brave. All right. So this is the interesting one that I want to get to besides Hunter Biden. So Queen Bamhammer got him good. I don't like, listen, if you want to talk about Trump, I'm fine. But if you spam the chat with literally just stuff that you have in copy and paste, you're going to be good. Just like I banned the people from Africa who were like, Dr. Lovejoy saved my marriage. You should call, blah, blah. Those people get to go. I don't know why she's from Transylvania, but those people need to go too. Okay? Blah, blah, blah.
I don't say blah, blah, blah.
I don't say blah, blah, blah. I wish they would call in. I just wish somebody would be brave one day. I want a sensitive man.
April 29th, because it's not
When is that damn sun going to go down?
Cold. All you need is a light jacket.
Would you like some Szechuan salad with dolphin-safe tuna? Dolphins, dolphins, I adore. Dolphins, dolphins on the shore. You who are a friend to me.
Can anyone name the movie?
Name the movie.
She's going to cry again. Oh, if I only had a brain.
That's a mixed metaphor. You can't play two movies. Do my movie, The Dolphin. Come on, someone name it.
Can anyone name the movie?
Anyone name that movie for a free shirt? I owe somebody a free shirt. I'm not going to give away another free shirt until I get that other free shirt out. I forgot to do it today, but please name the movie. 10 seconds. Do we have some Jep?
Yes, I do.
Well, get it on. Get it going. Get it going. Free shirt is not on the line, but bragging rights. What movie? Dolphins, dolphins, I adore. Come on.
They missed it. Some
No,
people
too bad.
missed
If
it.
you missed it, it's your fault. It's your fault. It is Bedazzled.
Yes,
It is a
ma'am.
fantastic movie. Bedazzled.
So amazing. Such
So
a
good.
movie.
Dolphins, dolphins, I adore. All right, first. Cocaína? Misa Stablos. Free Willy. Yeah, no. No, that's Hunter Biden's laptop.
Exactly.
So negative. All right. Our favorite girl is back. I figured, listen, since I want a woman's perspective, I figured I should go out and get a real woman. So I've brought Dylan Mulvaney to come in and talk about her reaction to Bud Light and how she feels betrayed. First of all, it looks like she's drinking urine. Which
blonde, huh?
which Bud Light looks like it. She's now blonde, and
Blonde does not do her job. It doesn't flatter her.
Yeah, I know. Donald says, "How do you guys remember this?" Well, my memory is just that way. I can recite Princess Bride from start to finish the first time I saw it.
We watch way too many movies.
Yeah, and Dylan Mulvaney's not a woman, but I'm just joking. I want you guys to watch this because this is hilarious. This is just a detachment from reality and completely shows his delusion and mental stasis. Enjoy this, especially Olivia and Amy. I brought this just for you. Enjoy.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
That's how we sound.
One
right?
thing I will not tolerate people saying about me is that I don't like beer because I love beer and I always have. I built my platform on being honest with you. And what I'm about to tell you might sound...
Except that I'm not a woman, I'm a man.
Being honest with you.
Right.
I've built my platform on being
No,
honest with you.
Yeah. Sorry.
I pee all over the toilet seat. I swear to God, I do. Wait, somebody said something about Karen. Karen, don't take things personally. Well, who took something personally? Karen.
Let's see what was said.
Oh no, nobody's Karen. Don't take anything. Karen, he doesn't actually care about the profile, but he still gives me some attention. What threats? He's wearing a CB. Matt, my personal photo is of my baby girl who died of cancer. Karen, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the troll. At least you have something on your profile pic. That's completely different. Are you trying to make me feel horrible? Gosh, why do people take things so? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the troll. Just like when I say women with 3 names are crazy. It's not everybody here. It's just there's a general consensus that women with 3 names are kind of crazy. I'm just saying. It's not you.
Oh
gosh, I'm sorry your daughter died of cancer. Great. You know what? Now I can't even laugh about Dylan Mulvaney. I mean, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wallow in my own self-pity. Thanks. I'm teasing, by the way. I'm joking. You got to watch the show more, folks. Seriously, I'm going to forget about it right when I log off because we're going to go play Diablo and eat frozen yogurt.
Like old news, but
that is not
you know
code.
that feeling when you
Oh, that's not code. No, not code. Diablo and frozen yogurt.
have something uncomfy like sitting on your chest. Well, that's how I feel right now. So
trust me, there is nothing on your chest, Dylan. Dylan, you're a skateboarder's dream. You're concave, sweetie. You ain't got nothing there. Trust me. You got 2 pimples and a mosquito bite. That's not no boobies.
this feels like the right thing to do. I took a brand deal with a company that I loved, and I posted a sponsored video to my page. And it must have been a slow news week because the way that this ad got blown up, you would have thought I was like on a billboard or on a TV commercial or something major. But no, it was just an Instagram video. And the wildest part...
Right, that 40 million people saw.
Right.
Just an Instagram video. Right. And Hunter's pics were just, male photos, right? There was no schlong or dong or however, it was just, just good fun humor, right? But she wants to be honest with us. So let's listen to the honesty.
Someone needs to send him a box of Kleenex so he can actually look like he's got something up there.
Yeah,
Pretend.
I mean, it's just, first of all, why is the angle that way? I don't want to see it. I don't want to, forget it.
Part is that they also sent me 1 can with my face on it. You might have seen it. And funny story, I had the can around my house, but then I realized, wait, I need to protect this can. So I hid it somewhere, and now I can't find it because I hid it so well. But when I do find it, I feel like it needs to go in a museum, preferably behind bulletproof glass.
What the hell are you talking
And you might be thinking, Dylan, why bring it up now?
I was
bringing
just
it up
thinking, why bring it up ever?
That all day
Why
long.
bring it up ever? Nobody wants to hurt you, Dylan. Nobody cares enough. Nobody's going to spend the rest of their life in jail because of you. Just do your thing, but do it quietly, alone, forever.
Inspired from that video was more bullying and transphobia than I could have ever imagined.
Oh
and I should have made this video months ago, but I didn't. And I was scared. And
This is the
I was
most
scared of more
boring
backlash.
tran porn I've ever seen. I'm completely bored. Is there anything better than this? All right, hold on. I got out of the video. I was so well, no, we're not done.
In a museum for things to get better. But surprise, they haven't really. Scared, and I was scared of more backlash, and I felt personally guilty for what transpired. So I patiently waited for things to get better. But surprise, they haven't really. And I was waiting for the brand to reach out to me, but they never did. And for months now, I've been scared to leave my house.
Kristen's got the comment of the night. Please give the man a tampon.
It's horrible. You shouldn't mix beer and Midol. It's horribly dangerous. Beer and Midol do not work well.
Kristen, you win tonight.
All right, here we go.
I've been ridiculed in public. I've been followed. And I have felt a loneliness that I wouldn't wish on anyone.
Oh my God.
And I'm not telling you this because I want your pity. I am telling you this because if this
You
is
don't
my
have it.
experience from a very privileged perspective,
Okay,
know that
you
it is
cannot
much,
tell
much
me. Okay, listen, I'm sick of this. If you're transgender, you don't ever get to say, I just don't want attention. You've got to be kidding me. That's all you want. Okay. The reason why you go ahead and wear a dress and put on a bunch of makeup and say you're a woman and literally sound like this. Hi, my name's Becky. You want attention. That's what this is about. Stop pretending that you are not the biggest attention whore in 10 counties, please. Seriously. That's all you want is attention. You're getting it. It sucks. Do I do this show for attention? Of course. Psychologically, from a Freudian perspective, of course I go on here and do it for attention, right? Because I want my opinion to be heard. But there is a transfer of information that takes place. There's an exchange of goods taking place. I give you my opinion, I hear your opinion, and we have a conversation. Dylan Mulvaney doesn't really want to hear from anybody. Dylan Mulvaney doesn't really care what anyone thinks. Dylan Mulvaney is a woman because, well, she's decided that that's what she wants to be today. But remember, she just came out and said, well, I don't like men anymore. I like women. Or now she's straight. Now she's bi. Now she's bi-curious. Now she's a rainbow spotted unicorn. This is all about attention. That's why she dyed her hair. And next time we see her, it's going to be purple. More attention. This is what this person craves. So don't sit here and blow sunshine up my keister, my Hunter Biden spread eagle keister, and tell me that you don't want attention. It's exactly what you want. And you're getting it. And you're feeding off of it. So what do? You're so upset by all the attention you get, you decide to make another video. That makes a lot of sense. That's just genius.
Worse for other trans people. For a company to hire a trans person and then not publicly
Truckin' Tinkerbell says you need a shave.
stand by them is worse, in my opinion, than not hiring a trans person at all. Because it gives customers permission to be as transphobic and hateful as they want. And the hate doesn't end with me. It has serious and grave consequences for the rest of our community. And you know, we're customers too. I know a lot of trans and queer people who love beer. And I have some lesbian friends who could drink some of those haters under the table. But to...
What? What? What does that have to do with anything? And you know what? Anytime you want to have a drinking contest, no, okay.
And the hate doesn't end with, and you might say, but Dylan, I don't want to get political. Babe, supporting trans people, it shouldn't be political. There should be nothing controversial or divisive about working with us. And I know it's possible because I've worked with some fantastic companies who care, but caring about the LGBTQ plus community requires a lot more than just a donation somewhere during Pride Month. And all this to say,
I'm not giving you any of my money. Does that mean I'm failing? Because I would absolutely not give you any of my, I don't understand. Why do I, okay, ladies, I'm going to let you finish here, but we're going to Kanye this a little bit. Why do you need my support and affirmation for where you put your penis or where you don't put your vagina? Why do you need it? What does it matter? How does that make you stronger of a person? Because if the ultimate goal is to collect as many people to support you in order to feel fulfilled, then that's a goal you'll never reach. Because first of all, you don't have the power to reach every single person on the planet. And the second thing is you can't control the way they think. So what you're saying is that you will not be happy until every single person thinks exactly like you. They have a word for that. It's called tyranny. And unfortunately, that's not the country we're in. So this is a quest that's impossible to fulfill. This is a fool's errand. This is the holy grail. You will never be accepted by everyone. And you know what? I'm straight. I'm white. And I'm not accepted by everyone. I had somebody said that my beard looks like pubes today. Now, I know that guy can't grow a beard and he's jealous, but still, it stuck with me. Amy, your thoughts?
He has no beard syndrome.
Your thoughts on Mulvaney?
Gosh, well, this person, I don't like him. I just don't. I don't like him. I do feel bad for him in a few ways because I really feel like it must be exhausting. First of all, even if you're just on camera being that persona, I highly doubt that. I feel like he's trying to not only portray something he's not, trying to be a woman, which you can't be, but two, this whole like, hey, like first of all, I don't know a single woman who calls, yeah, it's like, I'm not supported. No, newsflash. First of all, if you want to be a woman, you're going to have to fight like hell to get support. I'm sorry. You're going to have people out there who will support you, but I feel like you have to fight no matter what to get what you want in life, and you got to take some punches along the way. I sorry, It's not going to be
Take it on the
easy.
chin if you're a real woman.
Yeah, right. I mean, the whole thing to
got
me is
that.
just
Seriously,
so
dear?
bizarre, and just it's gross. I don't know. I don't like him. I'm tired of him talking about giving tampons to women and,
Ugh.
and you know, being in my bathroom. Like, I don't want you in there. And I wish my arms looked that good, but I'm a girl and I have mom arms. I don't know. He's got too much muscle tone. He has, I don't know what that dress was, but like, we don't need to see your non-cleavage. I mean, and I have boobs. Olivia has boobs. We're not out here flaunting we don't flaunt our boobs.
I've got some
I
pretty
will.
good boobs too.
Yeah.
Just
Do you wear like the bra to push them up too? Like the
no, I don't need that. They're just they're naturally they're naturally good. I don't have that problem. But
you're blessed.
Well,
I don't
you know,
I'm
it takes
I'm
a little bit
tired
of pumping some iron, you know, but
I'm
Dylan
tired
Mulvaney
of
doesn't
it,
know anything about that.
and he needs to take his own advice. You know, he's talking about a company not having his back, but he's out here not saying nice things about them because they didn't immediately go like, oh my gosh, it's okay. We're so sorry that you got attacked by people. Like, well, first of all, I don't care who you are, what side of the fence you're on, or how you identify. If you're in the public eye, you're going to be attacked no matter what. Someone's going to hate you. Someone's
Yes.
going to threaten you.
Yes.
Someone's going to be mean to you. So, mother of pearl.
Mother of pearl. Didn't he go ahead and say he's a 14-year-old girl? Should he be drinking if he's not of age? Olivia, your thoughts?
He kind of came out of character in that video. If you actually re-listen to it, when he got really animated, his voice went deep for a couple of seconds.
Right.
And that
Well,
just
let's finish
shows
it.
you that it's an act, because if he really was supposed to be a girl, his voice would be in that high the whole time.
He looks like a peckish
But
bird.
He
He's
does. It's just so he came out of character. It's like,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the blonde hair doesn't do him much justice. Like he looks like
No.
he
He looks sickly.
He looks like Gwyneth Paltrow turned into a Fraggle Rock character. So, like a Muppet. Just saying. Okay, here's the rest. Down in Fraggle Rock. Dun, dun.
But to turn a blind eye and pretend everything is okay, it just isn't an option right now. And you might say, but Dylan, I don't want to get political. Babe, supporting trans people, it shouldn't be political. There should be nothing controversial or divisive. I need you to smile if you care about me. I need you to care about every trans person. And I need you to support us. And I need you to stand by us.
Yes.
And hey, it's still Pride Month. So
thank God.
I'm going to celebrate being alive. And I'm going to celebrate the trans people.
Okay, you're done. I can't take it anymore. I want you guys to watch this because this was on Twitter and I thought I was being trolled. Like I really did. And this person says women should not be able to vote. And I was like, is this humor? Is this serious?
just like them to sue my parents thing.
No. This person is actually very, very popular and I have not watched it. I waited for the women, but I have a feeling I know what it's going to say, but I want to give it its due process, I guess. I want us to watch it. So let's watch it together. And if anyone has any feelings, let me know. Here we go.
Hey, Olivia,
All
I
right.
just thought I'd let you know I like your hat tonight. Look at the screen. People are making fun of us.
I don't understand. Oh.
I need a shave, apparently.
Oh, son of a bitch. Sorry. Why didn't someone tell me earlier? Like, wait till the entire show's over. Real good.
I just noticed it.
All right.
Somebody else said it earlier.
I always get the middle. All right, here we go.
All right, why women shouldn't vote. Yes, okay. A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. And I would like to tell you how I came to this conclusion. So what happened was I wanted to know why men were so angry about women. Why are there all these complaints about women? And
Elizabeth makes a good point. She says, I would love to see Dylan Mulvaney or Delaney hooked up to one of those electric shock crap labor devices, not hurting him, but putting it around his abdomen so he can feel what it's like to be pregnant. I tried that, man. I think I got to like level 1. And no, I'm done. He couldn't take being a woman on any level whatsoever. I agree with you. My balls, literally, I could taste my gonads. That's what happened on that machine. No bueno. Here it is.
when I started researching the stuff, it was pretty easy to figure out why. 90% of women have been on
Dawn, you haven't seen the video. Now, before we judge, now she is a ginger, and immediately that discredits her in my book too. But let's give her a chance, right? Let's not assume let's just listen to what she has to say, because I think this expands our minds. Let's listen.
Birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. The average body count is over 5, so your average wife has slept with over 5 people. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days. So I understand the complaint. Now I understand, okay, the quality of women, but I kept thinking, why, so this is the average American chick, why is it like this? And my second question was, why are men complaining about marriage? So these are men, we're gonna give them smiley face. They're saying don't ever get married. And I'm thinking, why? So then my next question was, why don't men want to get married? What I found out is that the courts, the legal system, all of society is catering towards women, okay? All of society is basically pandering and simping for women. For example, in the UK, if you accuse your guy of you get a free lawyer. Another example is free government handouts for women and single mothers. So we essentially have a system that is paying women to be single mothers. So when I would look at why are women so bad, it's like, okay, if you pay women to be terrible, then you're probably going to have more terrible women. I mean, it's just common sense. If you get
the reason why she blanks out certain kind of words is because she'll get flagged and banned from YouTube and other places. So they have to blank them out. That's the way this works. So live, I used to have to watch. YouTube doesn't care about. They just decided to freeze my YouTube. I don't think I get 1 follower a month maybe. So if you haven't followed me on YouTube, please do. But YouTube, I have a lot of people who watch the live show, and they're loyal. But I can't grow YouTube. For the life of me, I had it up to almost 1,000, and they banned my account. So they black out certain words because it can't be monetized if there's certain curse words. So if you're not on YouTube, or even if you have a YouTube account, just follow me, please. Gosh, I'm begging you at this point.
paid to be a single mother.
Okay, let's not judge her first. Let's listen to what she has to say, folks. I just want to hear what she has to say. But everybody's immediately like judgy. Maybe she's going to say something that might prove valid, or maybe this is all a joke. Let's wait and see.
Why wouldn't you break up your family? Well, I mean morals, but that's a whole nother thing. So what I figured out when I started talking to some of these politicians, right? So we're going to do this. The guy is a politician. He's got a bow tie. Yeah, that's a bow tie. Now, the issue is that the politicians, the only way they can get elected, the women vote for them. So the reason we can't see a change in these laws, where men can't get access to their children, where single mothers are being paid to be single mothers, all of these horrible policies is because the politicians can't change them because they won't be reelected. And then I started researching it further. And I started to think, does every person deserve the right to vote? Should every person deserve the right to vote? And what I found out is that men are fined $300,000 if they don't enroll in selective service, where women have no skin in the game. And in the U.S. anyways, we're voting for a commander-in-chief. So is it really fair that if I vote for a president because of my feelings, he's so mean, I'm not going to name presidents, and instead I vote for somebody that's basically senile, and we go to war, is it fair that the men have to pay for that bad decision? Because essentially we have a society where men are just paying for women's bad decisions. Men pay the majority of the taxes. So who's paying for these women to be single mothers? Men pay the majority of alimony and child support payments. So again, the men are paying for the women to leave.
Olivia, we're getting a divorce, and I'm going to marry her. I'm sold.
Laura Ingalls called, and she would like her dress back.
That's funny. That's very, very funny. Yes, drapes. Hold on, let's listen. Listen, this is hilarious. I'm going to blow this apart, but just listen.
That allowed women to go to work. So the Roomba, the vacuum cleaner, the washing cleaner, men invented it so women could leave their home and leave little Timmy at home. And now we see the byproduct of this, where we have a more free society. But guys, our mental health is crazy out here. Everybody's, got depression, anxiety, all this stuff because women are raising the children by themselves. And single father homes have better outcomes than single mother homes but the best outcomes is the parents together. And because our whole society is pandering to women voting and getting money from women, because women make 80% of consumer buying decisions. So we live in a society that's just constantly telling us what we want to hear all of the time. And we've basically been brainwashed for the last 100 years to think that women can really be equal to men. But the truth of the matter is that men run society. They run all of the industries that make society run. The only reason that women out-earn men is because we can monetize beauty, and men have subsidized industries. So men pay their taxes, and the government takes their taxes to make companies have quotas for women where they're not as productive as men, okay? Now we have a whole system where women have been told what we want to hear our whole lives, and the people that suffer are the children. Now, I'm a reasonable gal. I could maybe get behind net taxpayers or something, but only if we get rid of all these subsidies for women. Because I'm really tired of women being paid to leave their husbands. I'm really tired of women divorcing their husband, taking half his and accusing him of a on the way out. I'm tired of this. And I'm sorry, but the more power us as women have had, the more we have used it to basically legally abuse men. You know what? I don't think women should vote. That's my opinion. I could also maybe get behind a net taxpayer. And I think if we're going to vote, then equally enroll in the military and do all of the dangerous jobs in society. Go be a plumber. Go be an electrician. Go do all of the hard jobs. And if you don't want to do that, maybe you should just quit whining. So that's my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, we will. Who wants to go first?
I would like to see her voting record.
Wait, no. I said who wants to go first, and then I pick you, and then you say your shit. Amy, hold your thoughts.
Yeah, I was like,
Nope.
pick her because I'm gonna just work for a second. So I'm here, but
Okay,
let me
that's
just
fine.
get
And then
going.
I got an opinion. Go ahead.
I would like to see her voting record, because if she has voted in one election, then she's a hypocrite. And
I think that's fair.
I mean, I agree with her on one part, that either A, the draft needs to be done and men should not have to sign up for it when they turn 18, or women should have to as well. I agree with that.
Oh, wow.
But I think I don't know. I don't think she's nuts, but she just took women back 100 years with her comments. My God.
No. That happened when we went ahead and overturned Roe v. Wade. So we
right.
took women's rights.
Mm-hmm.
So good point. My thoughts are you contradict her. First of all, her name's Pearl. She contradicted her entire argument. And I haven't seen that thing. I will tell you, everything she said is correct. Except for the women shouldn't vote. Everything she said is right. But here's the thing is you did not represent. I did a video about 2.5 years ago that showed you why it's so hard to be a man. And there were 50 things that I wrote down. And it really did well. This video crushed. And I'll be happy to find it for you.
Oh, we should do Why It's Hard to Be a Man Part 2.
Yeah.
And then Why It's Hard to Be a Woman.
Yeah.
Now that Amy and I are on the show.
And the thing is that she sits here and says that the matriarch and patriarch societal home structure behooves children the most and is the most beneficial, and then undercuts the entire argument of what makes a woman and a man a man. So what she's saying is that it's beneficial for women to be women at all times in front of their children and with their husbands, but because of that, it disqualifies them to have a voice. And isn't that absolutely moronic to say things are absolutely important, to keep teaching society and teaching children this over and over so they never get out of this typecast, and then condemn the typecast and punish them for it? It doesn't make any sense. So even though I think that her point could have been that women vote emotionally, and I think that would have been a very good point, but to say women shouldn't vote at all, I think is it undercuts her entire video. And it was everything she said was well said. I just think her point, she researched and validated a point she wasn't trying to make. That's what bothers me about the whole video. Liv?
She wants women to go out there and do the dirty jobs, the plumbing and the electricians and all that. Well, That would be taking jobs away from men, because I don't know many men who are going to want to do the traditional women jobs.
I'm doing it.
Nannies. What?
I'm doing the. You're working, and I'm the stay-at-home mom.
True.
It's only been a few days, but
True.
I'm
But I was talking
loving
about,
every
paying jobs. I mean.
Oh, so because
not-
wait a second. So I don't make. Wait a second. Since I raised the children in the family, my job doesn't have value.
Really gonna pull that? You're really. You're talking to somebody who was a stay-at-home mom for 12 years, right?
Yeah, and you were of no value for 12 years.
That's true.
So I get it. But no, I'm with you. I agree with everything you're saying. 100%. Jeremy's saying coffee. Yeah, that's the way Donald Trump. That's my coffee brand, by the way. It's Coffee, and it says Breaking Fast, and it's my coffee brand. So it's off the Breaking Bad logo. So you can go to thedumshow.com and buy coffee. We've got the FJB. We've got Napalm in the morning, the Tomahawk. It's all great coffee. Even the decaf's good, and that's called. Here's the coffee. Yep, go get some. It's fantastic. All right, so Amy, I know you're doing work. Do you have a second, or are you still busy? Okay, she's still busy.
Well, I
No?
just going to send one message. Officially. But my opinion is, I don't think all of her comments are completely off base, but the way she's saying it sounds crazy. I totally disagree. I think women should have the right to vote. I also, I don't agree with her on a lot of things. I think she brings up a lot of valid points, and things that she's describing they can be true. Just like it can be true that women are being paid to leave their actual abusive husbands, or maybe these women just leave their abusive husbands and don't get a dime from them, because having their own safety and life is actually more important, and raising their kids on their own to keep them safe is more important. And I think those women have a great voice, and I think we should hear them. I don't know. There was so much, and I didn't hear what you guys had to say, so I don't know if I'm reiterating, but she sounded a little bit nuts, but I think she has some valid points. But otherwise, just sit down. And if you're not allowed to vote, why are you allowed to have a YouTube video? Sit down.
Oh, snap.
Oh, drop.
I mean, that's
holy cow.
That dare I say that's pretty good.
That was.
That's, you know what? You should go comment on her site. By the way, folks, if you have not tried Coffee, may I recommend that you do. There it is. The FJB brand is made by veterans. It is made in Wisconsin, I believe, is where it is at right now. Yes, that is where, by a veteran. It's all freshly brewed, so when you get it, it's you can literally smell it in the package. It's all sealed. It's fantastic, but man, it's good stuff. It's actually fairly inexpensive. You guys can put it on a reoccurring order if you want to. We drink it every morning, and all of it's got 5-star rating. There's never been one person who said, I don't like it. Everybody likes it. Napalm in the morning, Kami, which is decaf, Moab, and the Tomahawk. It's all different blends. It's fantastic. Go get it. Made to order. Usually takes 7 to 10 days to ship. You can get on a reoccurring order. It's amazing. All right. So listen, let's go ahead and wrap up. It's before 10 o'clock. I know Amy's got a lot to do. Amy, I'm going to give you the first minute so you can get out of here. What's your minute?
I don't really know. I think it was I just really enjoyed this show. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. It's just work. Because
Stop it. You don't need to be
I'm
sorry.
a working mom. Gosh,
You shouldn't
dang it.
work because you're a woman. You should sit home and
I
you should
know.
have babies and not vote.
I will say this. My minute, I'll say this. I loved being a stay-at-home mom. It was the greatest joy of my life, being with my kids all the time and not missing a moment of anything that they did. But now that I'm not able to be that mom, I'm still a fantastic mom. I think I love my kids even more because I appreciate when I am away from them and when I'm back home with them and I get that special one-on-one time. And you guys will know if I'm like, hey, look, I haven't seen my kids all week. I can't come on tonight. I really need to sit down and play a game with my kids or just be with them because they are always my number one priority. And I just love them. And I think there's a lot of strong women out there, and I don't think you should underestimate us. And I think that we should vote. And I think men are also equally important, separate but equal. Am I blurry? Damn it! I didn't even ask. I just thought it was me.
Squirrel.
I just doing it to screw with you, kid. Oh,
okay.
Amy, I love it when you smile. That's fun. Amy, we love you to death. Olivia, go ahead. Your final
I'm
minute.
gonna jump. So I'm sorry because I got to do
See you,
something.
kiddo. You got to get out of here. Bye.
See you tomorrow. Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Pop Smoke.
Bye.
Get out. Go ahead, Liv.
Bye.
Bye.
So,
Dude, she's so awesome.
I was just thinking about when you said that they need to, for Dylan Mulvaney, strap on the imitation. No, don't. His head is in the gutter.
Well, it's been a couple days. I'm kind of like
cow.
raring to go. Woohoo!
Especially after seeing Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh yeah, Hunter.
Get you in the mood.
It was actually Dylan Mulvaney. So
Oh.
yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, putting on the imitation contraction machine to make him feel. Any man who thinks they're a woman and thinks they can get pregnant and have a baby.
No.
Go do it.
No thanks.
Be my guest. Because seriously.
Yeah. No.
I did 5 centimeters with both my children at home. And apparently I'm amazing for that because most women.
You were 5 centimeters for almost a month.
I dilated with Hayden for 5 weeks and Ethan for 4. And most women will tell you they get to the hospital at 1 centimeter and they're like begging for pain medicine. And I went to 5. I went to 9 with Hayden without.
All right. Okay. Fine. There's your brag. You win.
Any man that thinks they can do that.
Easy. Don't be so
luck.
sexist. I was very surprised. I was playing World of Warcraft.
Oh God, we don't need to tell that.
I was in the middle of a raid in World of Warcraft. I'm like, are you sure you can't hold it for like an hour?
Yeah,
She's
it was like I crawl
"Get
on my
up."
knees out of the shower.
I'm like, what are you doing on your hands and knees? I'm playing
I'm
WoW.
like, I'm having the baby. Are you sure?
I don't
it's
think you're
not
having the
just
baby.
Contractions.
Yeah, but
Are
did
you
your water
sure?
break? She's like, I think so. I was in the shower. I'm like, yeah, we should wait and see.
Are you positive?
I'm
that
like-
you're
I'm
not
like- I'm
having
sitting here-
false contractions again. And
Guys,
I'm
we
like,
gotta
oh
we
my
gotta finish up
God.
this raid stat. We gotta log off because my wife's having a baby. Sorry. I guess I don't get my epic weapon tonight. Here's my minute. Of course, women should vote. It's one of the most patriotic things a person can do. And I don't care if women vote with emotions or a lack thereof, or informed or uninformed. That's our job as citizens to help people make the connection. And whether you are talking with having some coffee, or you decide to do a podcast, or you run for office, your job is to influence the people in your circle, including the people on this show, and help them understand not only your perspective and point of view, but to exchange and share ideas, even if we don't necessarily agree all the time. Are women emotional? Yes. Are women ill-informed sometimes? Yes. Do they vote for the wrong things? Yes. But that doesn't mean that they don't vote for the right things, that they're not informed, that they're not emotional, because that's what the beauty of the United States is, that we are judged by individualism and not collectivism. And anybody that sit here and she's supposed to be a Republican says that all women are the same because her experiences and her influence and her circle all have these things in common. It's horribly naive, and it's a myopic viewpoint, and I don't condone it. I am a feminist. I believe women and my wife are equal, even though I'll get mad at her. I might talk down to her a little bit while you're on your phone, whatever, but that doesn't matter. It's a relationship we have. But in the end, I don't make any decision without her because I value her opinion as a partner and a friend and as a lover, especially a lover. And that's the way it should be. So once again, I don't subscribe to the Hillary Clinton thought process that men told women to vote for Trump, that she lost because of male sexism. I think Hillary Clinton lost because she is a tramp and a completely degenerate, immoral, barely a human being. And that's why she lost. And I also feel that anybody that feels that women don't have a valid opinion, simply tell them that you're going to go ahead and watch football versus watching something that they want to watch, and let me know how that conversation goes and their ability to argue a point. So that's all I got, folks. Thanks for watching tonight. Olivia, thank you for being here. Amy, thank you for being here. We'll be on tomorrow night, Friday night, and it's Red Friday. I'll have a recorded show for you. We're going to talk about Bidenomics, and that's pretty much it. Go to thedumshow.com. Pick up your new shirt. I mean, folks, this thing is...
This is awesome. This is the best shirt.
Well, that's a good shirt. I mean, there's no doubt. It's a good shirt. But
You know what's even better is the pot pie shirt. I've yet to see someone buy that shirt.
I'm sure someone will buy it in time.
Send us a pic.
Yeah, when you do, send us a pic and you'll get a free pot pie. The Leave Our Kids Alone shirt has officially launched. It's got a beautiful lion, which is oil painted. It is a cool looking shirt. Go and pick it up. Use code DUM10. Thanks for supporting the show, folks. Thanks for watching the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. God bless. And remember, stick for the last part of this with an outro and ode to 22 veterans a day. Thank you. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important. You are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call